Search for missing 13-year-old Hailey Dunn continues near a landfill.
They're out there today.
This is in rural Texas.
They have come back to revisit this local landfill.
This isn't the first search at the landfill.
We continue to search. We'll be searching landfills.
Jean Burris, a neighbor of ours, saw her Monday between 10:30 and 12. She says she saw Hailey walking with a 6 or 7-year-old boy she didn't recognize.
That's why I was looking at her so strong when she was going down the alley, trying to figure out if I knew that kid, but I didn't know him.
If the sighting is confirmed, it would debunk any theory that Sean Atkins took her the morning of December 27th.
And he's telling me that he's going to kill me.
He was threatening to kill me and Clint.
I got a situation on my hands. I have an ex-girlfriend, and she's taking me a whole bunch of clonopin. It's like a anxiety pill that I take. So I guess she got them from me, and she said she took a bunch of her pain pills too. And she's saying that she wants to die. She don't care about life and all the bull crap.
In addition to 2 landfills being searched as we go to air, searches in relation to Hailey Dunn, to Jean Casares, what can you tell me about that hoop earring?
Well, the hoop earring could take this investigation in another direction. We know that they were red hoop earrings that Billy gave them to Hailey Dunn. Billy said she wore them on Christmas Day when she went over to Clint's house, her father's, to spend the night. She believes when she came back, she had them on. She doesn't remember her not having them on, but yet one of them was found several days after Hailey went missing as Clint and his girlfriend were moving out of their apartment. So the issue is, could Hailey have been in that apartment the day she went missing after she left her home?
Rupa, have we heard any more about the earring?
Nancy, we don't. We do know that the police have collected the one remaining earring, which David, Billy's son, had gathered over from Clint's house and brought back here. And we know that they are investigating this. We also know that it is very possible that this earring could be really the key to as Jean was saying, to another direction in this investigation. It could lead one, for example.
I know what you and Jean are suggesting, and I understand that this could point back toward the father or the girlfriend, that she was there the day she went missing. Now, Clint Dunn says, point blank, Hailey left that hoop earring at his apartment Christmas night when she slept over. That would have been Saturday night. What about that? Would that fit into the timeline, Jean Casares?
She just left the earrings there, didn't have them on anymore, and that would take the investigation away from that house. But let's remember, Clint has been relentless in the search for his daughter, but we don't know who else could have been in the house that day.
To Billy Dunn, you believe, you told me, that she was wearing those earrings over Christmas. Did she spend the night with her father Christmas evening?
She did.
Are you absolutely positive she had the earring on Sunday, the next day?
No, I'm not.
So him saying
I didn't notice that she had taken them out, but...
Yeah, so him saying she left it there Christmas night is entirely possible, correct?
Yes.
Okay, have you heard or tried to reach Sean Atkins, the boyfriend?
No. Just every couple of days he'll reach out, but we don't talk.
To say what?
Just to say he misses us, he loves us.
Does he ever say anything about Hailey?
He's praying for her, just the same as you've heard.
Is it your understanding his lawyer has told him not to speak to you?
Yes.
Back to Jean Casares. Jean, what do you know about the live-in boyfriend, the now no longer living there, Sean Atkins, recently going online and posting photos of himself with Hailey?
He did, on a MySpace account. This is just days ago. Posted pictures of himself with Hailey, talking about that he misses them all and he knows she will come home. And these are pictures, this is a communication, we think it is, to Billy from his grandmother's house, where everybody believes he's staying night and day and not surfacing.
And it states, I miss you so much, babe. There is nothing more that I want than to be there for you. Don't lose hope. I love you, Hailey and David. Does that sound familiar, Billy?
I hadn't read it.
Okay, this is Sean Atkins' alleged MySpace posting. Out to the lines. We are taking your calls to Kay in Texas. Hi, Kay.
Hi. My family is from there for many generations back. And what I want to know is there is a prison there. Have all of your prisoners and trustees been accounted for during the time that she went missing?
That's a good question. Mark Class, do we know anything about that prison?
About the prison, when we also know that there is a prison release program where the inmates in teams are allowed to come and work into the community, and I believe they were even involved in one of the searches. So there you have another plausible scenario. The longer this goes, they continue to grow. Unleash the lawyers. Joining us out of Washington, D.C., Eleanor Odom, felony prosecutor, death penalty qualified. Renee Rockwell, defense attorney, Atlanta. Peter Odom, defense attorney, Atlanta. Eleanor, in your expertise, and you have handled death penalty cases in the past, do you think police are holding off on an arrest until they have solid evidence?
Oh, of course they are, Nancy. It would be foolish to rush into an arrest, especially when you've got a suspect kind of in your sights. You want to get as much evidence as you possibly can before you arrest someone and build a solid case from the very beginning.
What about it, Renee?
Absolutely, because Nancy, you represent contestant number 2, and contestant number 1 has been arrested. The first thing that the defense attorney is going to do is throw in the face of the police, didn't you think you had a strong enough case against the first individual that you arrested, and now you're just coming at me, making it look more like a witch hunt. So the police are going to wait till they have something solid. They don't want to be making multiple arrests.
And to Peter Odom, cops have come out and said, police have said, we are not releasing what we have found in the cars until there's an arrest. What does that mean?
It means to me, Nancy, that they're playing this very close to the vest, and smartly, in my opinion. They're making this case not with a grand slam, but with bunts and singles. They're gathering small pieces of evidence that I think the police hope eventually, with great patience, will add up to a solid case against somebody.
Eleanor, to me, for them to say, we're not releasing the forensic evidence we found in the car until we make an arrest, I think that you can interpret that a lot more differently than Peter Odom did.
Well, I think so. And Nancy, the thing about forensic evidence, which we don't want to forget, is it doesn't lie. It doesn't change. It is solid. And again, the police want to have that solid evidence before they make that arrest.
To Bethany Marshall, psychoanalyst, author of Deal Breakers, what do you make of it all, Bethany? Especially about these postings, about him saying he's praying for Hailey, and the photos he's putting out of himself with Hailey.
I think it shows just how manipulative Sean Atkins is. He's manipulating Billy Dunn, and he's trying to rehabilitate his image in the eyes of the public. By the way, he's trying to control her through that MySpace posting, too. But the other sign of his manipulation that I see are these 911 calls. She calls 911 to report that he has made homicidal threats towards her and her former husband. He calls 911 to then say that she's taken a bunch of Klonopin, has tried to kill herself. So in a way, he's trying to manipulate the operators at the 911 into thinking that there is something wrong with her. So that's a sign to me of how manipulative he is. When he calls the little girl promiscuous, he's being manipulative as well.
Painting the both of them in a bad light. Paul Pinzone, former Sergeant, Phoenix PD and child advocate, joining us out of Phoenix. What do you make of it all, Paul?
Well, what you're speaking about earlier with the law enforcement, there's 3 things when you're releasing information. What the community needs to know as it relates to their safety, what the community has to know to help you in the case, and what they want to know. And those are the details that law enforcement often has to keep back to protect the investigation, because it's ultimately about conviction. It's about finding this little girl, hopefully safe, and convicting the person responsible. And those details, although interesting to the public, are not ones that should be released.
We're looking for any type of evidence that may give us an idea of where Hailey is or who may have taken Hailey.
Hopefully, people that know what happened to Hailey will come forward one way or the other.
better than Empire's professional